we're informed that Buick's new mission is giving alleviation to the underserved. Buick delegates close by at the basic drive occasion for the new Regal TourX utilized the word more than once as they depicted their intent to offer vehicles and specialties neglected by different carmakers, as though the brand now works as something of a non-governmental help association. Who could have realized that the Cascada isn't only a convertible for warm climate rental armadas, however a beneficent endeavor? Buick's most recent vehicle for social equity is hence this off-roady looking all-wheel drive station wagon that desires a Taurus Subaru Outback. It's not. The Regal TourX has only 5.8 creeps of ground leeway, contrasted and the Subaru's 8.7, so General Motors utilized a lot of extreme-looking dark cladding. Thus you can't miss it. This plastic likewise broadens high over the wheel wells, looking as affected on the TourX as it does on the comparatively dressed Audi A4 Allroad or Volvo V60 Cross Country. Buick reps point to the Audi as a contender. Aside from that, the conservative A4 is right around 10 inches shorter and an entire class littler than the moderate size, 196.3-inch Regal wagon. The Audi additionally is extensively more costly, with an egotist claim swelled beginning cost in the mid-$40,000 territory contrasted with only $29,995 for the Buick. The single TourX display accessible at that mentally fulfilling, sub-$30,000 cost has fabric situates and is accessible in any shading you need as long as it's white, silver and dark are additional cost alternatives. Settling on the mid-extent preferred trim to get a power driver's seat and the real shading palette sends the MSRP into the mid-$30,000s, and in the event that you need a first-class Essence, with calfskin and accessible propelled security hardware, for example, path keeping help and mechanized prices braking, the cost is nearer to $40,000. Be that as it may, a $29,995 risk puts Buick at correctly the point on the esteemed guide to endeavor to draw in standard purchasers, which gets at the foundation of Buick's underserved gambit. Buick reps spun as a story of hardship, portraying the predicament of station wagon proprietors whose producers have relinquished the fragment. For absence of an appropriate substitution, these poor people have hence been compelled to clutch their old autos any longer than they needed to. We're envisioning individuals diving on their Buick merchants who right now drive mid-90s vintage Honda Accord wagons with pitifully rusted back wheel curves and Toyota Camry wagons from a similar period with raised suspensions that have fell, likely from the heaviness of that additional back wiper. Maybe exchangings would incorporate even a couple of Saab Sport Combis or Chevrolet Malibu Maxxes too. We don't know we become tied up with this any more than we envision a situation in which Buick takes clients from Audi. However, the bigger point is as yet legitimate. The Regal TourX sits unequivocally between conventional European extravagance wagons, for example, the Allroad and the previously mentioned and more reasonable Outback, which opens at just $26,810. The TourX is fueled by GM's natural turbocharged 2.0-liter inline-4, a motor that shows up in various GM items, including the current Malibu. The Malibu imparts its design to the Europe Showcase Opel insignia, which is the reason for the TourX and the new Regal Sportback. Here the Turbo 4 makes 250 strength and 295 pounds-to-foot of torque, sustained through an 8-speed programmed transmission that can be physically moved. On paper, this powertrain mix looks incredible, far outpacing Subaru's pale normally suctioned 2.5-liter 4 and notwithstanding contrasting positively with its accessible 6-chamber display, which like